She didn't even have a name, but when she was found, she was fighting just to breathe, with wires wrapped around her body and barely able to move. A stray dog was discovered searching for food in a garbage bin. She was extremely weak, and copper wires had become tangled around her body, making even the simplest movement difficult. Her breathing was also becoming increasingly strained. The rescuers rushed to her side and carefully began removing the wires, one section at a time. The tangled copper was wrapped tightly around her fragile body, making the situation extremely serious. She could barely respond, and she was unable to stand even after trying several times. Once the wires were finally removed, the rescuers worked to help her breathe normally again. After some time, she regained consciousness and began moving, but she was still far too weak to stand. They gently carried her into the vehicle and rushed her to a veterinary clinic. What they learned about her past made the situation even more heartbreaking. She had never known a safe or comfortable life. She had survived on scraps from garbage and had never received enough healthy food. She had endured cold weather, extreme heat, and repeated rejection from people. When she arrived at the hospital, she was taken directly into the examination room. The veterinary team provided the emergency care she needed. Her body showed signs of a difficult life, including wounds and multiple health problems caused by prolonged neglect and poor living conditions. She was extremely exhausted and could barely stand. Her condition was critical, but the veterinary team continued doing everything they could to help her. Eventually, she made it through the most dangerous part of her ordeal. The dog who had once been lying helplessly beside a garbage bin was now somewhere safe, surrounded by people who were determined to give her a chance. For the first time, she could rest without having to worry about where her next meal would come from. She received food, water, medical care, and something equally important, gentleness. The rescuers continued visiting her and tried to give her opportunities to feel fresh air and sunlight. Slowly, her world began to change. She was no longer a dog searching through garbage just to survive. She was no longer facing the cold, hunger, and fear completely alone. Her recovery would still take time, but the most important thing had already happened. She had been given another chance. And because she had never even had a name, the rescuers invited people to help choose one for her, a name that could represent the beginning of a new chapter. Her story is filled with sadness, but it is also filled with hope. A dog who once struggled just to stand now has the opportunity to discover what life can feel like when someone cares. And if one day she runs again, it will be a very different kind of running. She won't be running from hunger, fear, or danger. She'll be running simply because she's happy. Her life may have begun with suffering, but with care and compassion, she now has the chance to write a completely different chapter. If you want to follow her journey and see her become stronger, follow for more rescue stories and second chances.